You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Are you ready to listen to Final Wrestling Place? Kick it! Yeah! Yeah! You wanna be in the good place, fool? You better be doing what you're supposed to do. Bad place, little boy. Good place, little man. Break it down. Final Wrestling Place. Final Wrestling Place.
I have a question for you as like a man who exercises.
All right, throw it on me.
How much longer are my legs gonna hurt?
Till you do it again, and then they won't hurt as bad.
No,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with exercising. As bad as you feel, you will never feel that bad again.
that's not true.
That is very true. That is very true. If you go harder, you will not feel as bad as you do now. That is what I like about the muscle and physical pain of working out. You will never feel that bad again.
I did 55 squats in 2 minutes on Friday.
Yeah.
We record this on Sunday. I can't walk.
Well, yeah, you're getting tensed up. You got to loosen them up. It's like having a hangover. Allegedly, the best medicine is the poison that got you sick in the first place.
No, the best medicine is absolutely Gatorade.
Gatorade and walking is what I would suggest. Gatorade and start, take a couple of laps around the neighborhood. Keep them loose.
I've been walking.
Keep them loose, yeah.
I've been drinking water. I've been walking. The only thing I haven't done is I haven't done any bananas. I haven't done like any potassium.
Some potatoes, bananas.
Oh, I forgot
rice.
about potates.
Potatoes are good for you, yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, man, I don't want to be in pain anymore. Especially since I'm supposed to go back to the gym Monday. Today.
Yeah. Go back Monday, ease yourself in. Yeah. Do a couple squats to loosen everything up, break up the scar tissue.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. Don't do the same number that you did, but do enough to break it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
So Marcus, you were hyping me up in text message. By the way, welcome to Final Wrestling Place. I'm Tim.
I'm still Marcus.
And Marcus, you told me via text message, do you have a story about a door?
Yeah, so
it is Forbidden Door season. What do you mean?
It is Forbidden Door season. It's bulk season. I'm not saying bulking season, but it is bulk season. It's always time to put on a little weight. And I hit a big man milestone, and I think you might be able to appreciate this. Any other big men, big people out there might be able to enjoy this as well. Let us know in the TNM Discord channel if you've experienced this milestone. But I was at work, and I went to the grocery store. And the grocery store right by my work used to be a mom and pop place, and it got bought out by Giant. And it's pretty much a Giant in name alone. Like name and branding alone, it's still very much the mom and pop store inside. And with that comes the perception and a lot of the problems that people of color may experience when going into a store. I get eyeballs on me constantly, and then as I'm checking out, I'm getting some fruit, some protein, some good stuff for lunch. And I pay. Everybody's like, oh, he had money. He didn't steal anything. Amazing. And as I'm getting ready to walk out the door, it's a sliding door, the automatic gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
And it splits in two, like the WCW Saturday Night set.
Yes.
And there's somebody coming in as I'm trying to come out. And just as a rule, if it's meant for two people, then like two people should be able to get through, you know? Like if you're an average sized person, maybe don't walk straight through the middle and take up the whole jank.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do know this. I'm 6'4", 267 pounds right now. Once I get going, I'm not stopping for a regular person to cut me off. That's not going to happen.
That's right.
So as I'm approaching this door,
you got to be big like me.
That's right. That's right. I'm not selling for you. So as I'm approaching this door and it's opening, I guess it didn't open all the way, or I'm bigger than I thought.
Uh-huh.
And I shoulder blocked the door.
Yes.
I didn't just shoulder block the door. Like I Ultimate Warrior honky tonk man this door.
I know exactly what you did.
Off the track.
Yep.
All loose. Just dangling there.
Swinging
freely.
Yep.
And some people stopped to look at me. And I mentioned the mom and pop aspect because even the sliding doors haven't been replaced, and the outside architecture is still from the original building. So this sliding glass door has probably been there for 20 plus years.
Right.
I don't know. But I shoulder tackled the door and it fell off. And I just instinctually took a couple steps back and I picked that jank up and I hoisted it in into the door jammy and I walked away. And probably the smoothest bit of it all was somebody had asked me, "Hey, are you okay?" To which I said, "Yeah, I'm fine, but somebody should check on the door." And I split, and I don't think I'm going to go back to that grocery store anytime soon.
Yeah, I think you're done for the grocery store. Maybe you can like make a drive-by through it, not that kind of drive-by, but you can like make a pass. You can make
That's
a
the kind
pass,
they're expecting.
Make a pass through to check to see if the door opens. If the door opens, I think you're safe. But if there's like caution tape or please use other door or push don't pull, like the stupid sign on the door, then you can't go back.
And my initial thought was like, I'm going to go to jail for this somehow, right?
Mm-mm.
And then I was like, oh, wait, this is technically a giant. This is a multi-million, if not billion-dollar operation here.
I can get some money.
Shouldn't I be getting paid?
Well, I mean, I don't think the door jumped out and bit you. I think you hit the door.
I did hit the door.
I thought when you were telling this story, that it was my experience with a sliding glass door.
What's your experience?
So I was walking out of a Sam Walton original. Not the club. I wasn't at the club. I was at the OG. And it's a very similar experience as you. Except it's me and somebody else walking out of the same door. And so you're doing side by side jammy walking out the door. And of course, the door slides from the middle and I shoulder tackle my side of the door. And I bust that effer right off the hinge. Except mine didn't fall. It swung.
Okay.
So it was still connected on the outside. But this door was swanging. And I freaked out. And then the Sam Walton security guard was like, "Don't worry, it's on a magnet. We can just push it back." And I'm like, "That's how they're supposed to work, isn't it?" So either you didn't have the same door as me, or you truck stick this door. And
I did a number on this door.
You sure did. If you had to pay now another thing too, and I'm not questioning your gains. I would never question the strength of my best friend. But you just gobbled this door up off the floor.
I knew I had one shot to do it, and I couldn't struggle, and I had to make it count.
Was it heavy?
Not as heavy as I thought.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so this is a very weak door.
Possibly.
This is a weak door. Yeah, this door is not forbidden. This door needs chicken and rice, is what you're saying.
I'm forbidden from that door.
You are, yeah, because you are. That door's put you on a list, brother. You are listed out.
They were looking for a reason. Probably got one now.
Yeah, they do. It's like, oh, he's destructive. My final wrestling place this week. We've got a lot to cover. Of course, I'm not sure if we have any weekly purchases, but of course we'll get to that at the end of the show. We've got a little bit of an Undertaking. We've got some on-demand action here. What do you got? I
want the sounder. I want the gimmick. Right. Anytime it's mentioned, I want to hear it.
Okay, here we go. All right, that's enough. As hold on, it's I have the sound. Here it is.
It's enough.
There we go. Yeah, that's enough of that. But of course, some Undertaking, some on-demand action for Clash at the Castle. But of course, we're starting off with the best segment in all of podcasting on the soon-to-be-named network, and it's blind rankings.
It is blind ranking time. Mr. Tim, I got 5 for you. I want you to blind rank these WWF/E Titan Sports tag teams.
Okay, cool. All right.
Here we go. Number 1.
I'm locked in.
Demolition.
Demolition is a solid 3.
Okay.
Demolition
Next up for you.
Demolition's a 3.
The Nasty Boys.
That's a 5. Because I don't view them as a WWF tag team. The Nasties are a WCW team. So they're a 5.
Okay. Next up, Eminem.
4. That's a solid 4.
Okay.
Better than the Nasty Boys, worse than Demolition.
Next up, the Hart Foundation.
Okay. Ooh. Ah, man, it depends on what you have left. Like, I'm gonna go conservative. I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm gonna put these guys at 1.
Oh, okay. Not what I was expecting. So then locked in at number 2 for you, Mr. Tim, is the Usos.
The Usos are my second best WWF tag team of all time. They are my number 2. My number 1 is the New Day. But the Usos are definitely number 2. Longevity, body of work, cohesion, harden to paint, down since day 1-ish, Uso Penitentiary, all of that.
The Usos.
Them Usos. But yeah.
So you had Hart Foundation 1, Usos 2, Demolition 3, Eminem 4, and the Nasty Boys number 5.
I think that's a solid run. That's a solid list.
Ain't mad at it.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked at myself. Marcus, of course, I'm a little outside the box.
Okay.
I want you to rank these 5 submission holds.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to let you rank them whichever you want. Like, Rank them in order of least to most want to be in, effectiveness, look, however you want to break it down. You can make that classification, but I got 5.
Pliability.
Very pliable, John Gruden original. So I got my 5. I'm going to give them to you one at a time. Number 1,
right.
The ankle lock.
Ooh, ankle lock. I'm gonna put that at 3. That feels like a good middle of the road one.
Fair enough.
Good line of demarcation, if you will.
Nice. Number 2, we have the trusty classic figure 4 leg lock.
Ooh, figure 4. I gotta go number 2.
Number 2. Okay. Next up on the list, some call it one thing, some call it another thing. I'm calling it by what I call it. It is the $1 Million Dream.
Feels like a 5.
All right. Okay. 2 left. 1 and 4 still available.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, used to have an adjective anymore. We can't use it anymore after a tragic double homicide suicide. The crossface. Not the crossface chicken wing. The crossface.
The Canadian crossface.
Yes.
Can I say Canadian crossface?
The Atlanta crossface.
All right.
The
I will
Edmonton
go.
crossface.
I'm gonna go number 4.
That's a 4, which means your number 1 submission hold, and DJ is going to be so happy. It is the Dragon Sleeper.
Okay, I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
I'm not mad at it. If I had to do it over again, I would have probably put the figure 4 at 1.
Okay.
And bumped the ankle lock up to 2, and I would have put the crossface 3, Dragon Sleeper 4, $1 Million Dream 5.
Okay. So your list is all
everything would have slid up.
Your list is all janked up. My list is Hey, it's okay, man. It's okay.
I'm not mad at it though. Those are good submissions. All of them are great to try to put on like in a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can get to the steps and you can lock in a figure 4, that's great.
Especially
Dragon
if you can
Sleeper in the shallow end.
Lock somebody in the figure 4 around like the handrail.
That's right. Extra leverage.
That's right. Yeah, man. That's
right.
That's good-ish.
Maybe a little blind rank pool maneuvers next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be slamming your buddy's head against the side of the pool and then him telling you that ish it for real, yo. That's a thing.
Hematoba gross.
Oh my god, I have never seen a golf ball develop so fast on somebody's head in my life. We have to tell the story right now. Okay, so we're at my buddy's pool. Long story short, we're play fighting in the pool, and we're over on the side of the pool, and I got my buddy by the back of the head, and I'm here to fake bounce his head off of the side of the pool, and this MFer slams both hands really hard on the side of the pool, and then he headbutted the pool, and then had the audacity to pick his head up, hold his head, and go, "Oh, that shit for real, Joe!" Like exact phrase, like exact phrase.
Oh man, like you put your hands there to mimic.
I'm here
or,
to let
you
him
put a
take
hand
his
there
bump.
to bounce your head. Bounce
like,
your head off your own
hand. Off your hand.
No.
Not headbutt.
He framed it.
He sent
He
it.
hit dead center.
He
into that gravelly concrete.
Oh my god. This is an in-ground pool. So that's like cement. Is it cement or cement? I feel like saying cement means I'm from the South.
Yeah, it's cement.
It's cement.
cement.
I'm gonna fight you all day on this.
It's cement.
That's fine. Marcus.
Yeah.
Here's one thing we're not gonna fight over, and that is our takes on the latest WWE pay-per-view premium live event, however you want to break it down. WWE Clash at the Castle, a lean 5-match card.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling the way that it's meant to be, in and out in 3 hours. Salute. All title matches for the most part.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Right?
World title, WWE title, women's tags.
Yeah.
World heavyweight,
Intercontinental, and women's.
WWE women's. Yep. So 5 matches, 5 titles on the line. Clash at the Castle again, breaking another record for gate.
Yay capitalism.
Yay capitalism. Number 1. Amen. As long as we keep making money and keep printing it, we can charge more for less.
What do you think of, like, publicly telling your fan base that you keep taking money from them and, like, rejoicing over it? Do you think that's something that, like, they should continue, or are, like, WWE fans, like, too dumb to, like, understand what's happening?
I think that they need to keep doing it, because when they eventually have to stop doing it, it will be very noticeable. Because if you never started down this path, you can always, like, keep the toothpaste in the tube. But the minute that things start dropping and you stop talking about the gate, oh man, it's going to be like a big black hole. Just a dark void. The vacuum of space, and everything is just going to be like, oh, what happened? Why wasn't the gate up?
Well,
That's
another
why.
big part of that, not to turn this into an economics pod, but the American dollar is very strong right now.
It is.
Strongest it's been in quite some time. So,
Thanks,
I think
Byron.
since, like, Clinton administration, I think that's the strong since last time it was this strong. So, I mean, yeah, they can really charge up for those tickets and then convert it to U.S. money, and it goes a little bit further.
That's very, very true. That's very true. Like I said, man, I'm here for it. I don't mind it at all. I think it's because wrestling fans nowadays, they care less about, like, what happens in the ring. They want to know everything they don't already know. And that is all that behind the scenes mumbo jumbo. Who's sleeping with who? Like, we're talking contracts, we're talking paid attendances, we're talking all that nerd-ish that, like, honestly, I don't really, like, it's cool to
It's like gossip.
Almanac.
It's like the gossip mag stuff. Like it goes hand in hand with, like, the soap opera. Like,
Or like Deadline. Or like,
yeah.
just a super insider, like the Stink Sheet, right? It's super insidery. It's no, but you know what I mean. It's like, we want to know. We want to know how the sausage is made, and I guess that kind of goes along the lines, like, I hate to give anybody any credit named this person's name, but, like, it's a different age of kayfabe. Right? Like,
yeah, 1,000%.
all the stuff that we used to kayfabe about, now we can't anymore because of social media and everything else. So now you switch your kayfabe. Like, you switch.
Right. And if you can control what backstage info gets out, but still
Correct.
present it as backstage info, then
Correct.
yeah, people still feel on the inside.
Right. You peel back a curtain, but really it's a curtain in front of a curtain. And it's like,
Much like the WrestleMania 40 documentary that has yet to be released.
all right, I've wanted to talk about this for a while.
Let's go, baby.
Okay, dog, we had to wait actual years for the Vlad doc.
Yeah.
This WrestleMania 40 documentary does not stand a chance. Pump the brakes. Stop the hashtags. It's not happening.
Well, was it Joe on that odds, or I might have heard it somewhere else? I can't remember.
It was probably Joe because he is the loudest champion behind
He
this.
sure
Where's
is.
the doc?
But like, expect this doc to drop when there's like a wave of bad WWE news.
Oh, I know exactly when it's going to drop. It's going to drop in January when WWE moves to Netflix. This documentary goes on Netflix. Doesn't drop on YouTube. It's not going to drop on Peacock. It's going to be January 2025. Plop it on Netflix. Perfect. It's a lead in right to Raw, or it'll come out of Raw. You're already on Netflix. Here, go watch this. Ba-bum. Perfect.
Does that mean we get WWE people for the little avatars when you sign into Netflix?
I would hope so. I don't know who I have
definitely-
right now. Who do I have
I'm
right
going
now?
Roman.
Yeah, isn't that what you have for Peacock right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, my Peacock avatar is Ron Swanson.
Okay.
What's my Netflix avatar? That's an excellent question.
I think mine's the hormone monster right now.
Oh, mine is absolutely the hormone monster.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is Morty. Yep. Maury. Yep, that's mine. That's my avatar for Netflix. My avatar for Disney Plus is Thanos. My avatar for HBO Max is, I think it's Snuffleupagus.
Okay. Big Snuff.
Big Snuffy.
Shout out Big Snuff.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about Big Snuff. We're here to talk about Clash at the Castle. And most of everything, everything to me, I think, met expectations. But what's the first big takeaway you want to talk about from the Clash at the Castle?
I'm really enjoying Bailey's title run. It is very like 92, 93 Mr. Hitman of like, give me a challenger. I'm going to find a unique way to beat them that is unique to who I'm facing. She's not just looking to hit her finish and boom, that's enough. She's having these matches in a way that is designed to not only like highlight, but like tell a story with who she is facing and the journey of defending the title against all sorts of challengers of all different, shapes and sizes. So, I really like that. I really like it. And, I look forward to her matches, and there's not one yet that has failed to deliver, whether it be on pay-per-view or TV. And, just really, really, really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to give kudos to Piper Niven, too. Like, she's always, like, in the right place at the right time for me. She hasn't not delivered in any matchup she was in. Even that Royal Rumble match she had with Becky a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Like, my problem and my fear with people like Piper Niven, it is very similar to my fear that I had with Nia Jax when Nia Jax was around. You are a big, imposing woman, and somehow you still lose all the time.
Yeah. At some point, you have to protect the size and have these people actually win.
Correct. And stringing wins together to get to a premium live event or a pay-per-view or anything, that's one thing. But, choke artists are a real thing in sports. And, like, sure, you can get to the playoffs every year, Atlanta, but what are you going to do when you actually face championship level competition? Once every 20 years, you're going to win a World Series. And all the rest of the times, you're going to lose in the wild card.
And it's bad enough.
Yeah.
It's bad enough to have like a normal superstar get labeled a choke artist, but then when you do that to somebody that has like standout size and presence about them, then like that's real. Like you're like ruining two great things.
Right, because we can also say the exact same things about Piper Niven right now about Chad Gable.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Chad Gable. How many times is this guy going to get an Intercontinental title shot and not nail it? And I get it. This time there was a bunch of outside interference, a bunch of runaround Sue. And the match was solid. I think the Intercontinental title match was match of the night. I loved it. Even with all the outside interference, I love that, Chad finally got his what for. Finally, the trickeration bites him in the butt with a nasty chop block on the Maxine.
Good stuff.
It was so snug. But Otis just like, you know what? I've had enough. I'm out. Chad's left holding the bag, and Sammy picks up the victory. But like, again, if Chad challenges for another title, he better win it, or else I'm never going to think he's going to win a title ever again. Ever.
So I might have been harsh on the Chad Gable start and stop pushes for the last 3 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it always ends up like this. Always does. It's great that he's a great match guy.
Right.
He's phenomenal. He's one of the best great match guys that they've got. But there's a whole roster of people that could give me a great match. And I've seen great matches from him for the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. And they had lightning in a bottle with the Intercontinental title match that naturally flowed out of the WrestleMania storyline in Montreal on Raw, where he cements the heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
And it was done so well and so convincingly. And then they immediately course correct on it. And instead of having him be like this unhinged psychopath, like truly being Perk Angle, which he's playing up to on Twitter, which is awesome.
Right.
Instead, he's like doing all the steps you would do to lead up to a heel turn by like being mean to Alpha Academy.
Right.
And running them down and like being hard on them. And like those are the steps you would make and take to like get to the heel turn. And then you get to like this match. I think, was there a triple threat match too at some point? Yeah. It had a Bronson Reed, right?
Yeah.
And like that should have been a match where like the frustration grows. And then like you get to here, and like if he loses here, then like he finally snaps. And like this is where like he goes scorched earth. And like this is where he gets like the Perk Angle run. Instead, this is just like the same thing that has been happening, whether he's a face, whether he's a heel, no matter like 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. This is just all the same stuff. I'm tired. I'm tired of this dude.
Right. And it sucks because it's like.
It sucks because he is great. He is great.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, though. Fortunate enough for us as fans, but unfortunate for him. Being a good match guy is very common nowadays. There's a slew of good match dudes out there, and being a good match dude isn't enough anymore. Like,
and he has more. It's not like he doesn't. Whenever he's given something, he runs with it.
That's the thing.
Let him run with it, please. What if he would have won the Intercontinental title by underhanded means in Montreal? That would have been dope. And then he
Yeah.
loses it back on TV. And then you get the return match in a triple threat match and he comes up short. And then here he finally snaps. And like, this is where you do the proper no going back heel turn.
Or you do the same thing. Do the exact same angle you do in Montreal, except have Chad snap during the match.
Mm-hmm.
That's him seeing Sammy interact with his wife at ringside, like, is enough trauma to reintroduce him to the fact that he's failed numerous times in front of his family.
Yeah.
And you just cut him down, you beat him up, you ankle lock him in the post, and then you chaos theory him out. 1, 2, 3. And then the next week on TV, you can have the Alpha Academy try to celebrate with Chad, and Chad say, nah, cut him down. And that immediately gets you to Chad defending the title against his first opponent, Otis.
Mm-hmm.
And like, then you find Maxine in the middle, Tozawa in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, sure, we'll get Otis and Chad Gable, but what's the stakes? What is it?
You do the Intercontinental title, and then when that's done, you can reintroduce Sammy.
Right. You have them handle their personal beef. It automatically allows you to carry over, and you replace Otis, Tozawa, and Maxine with Julius, Brutus, and Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
The new Alphas. And then once Chad handles Otis, then it's Otis, Tozawa, and Maxine versus the Creeds. And then Chad turns and he's there with Sammy. But it's like, it just stinks. Because, like, to me, especially with like Clash in the Castle, you have so much television. Like, if Triple H is such a fan of the old Crockett ways and the old NWA ways, how many times did they in WCW and NWA have a title change happen at a big event, and then the next TV they fix it?
Right.
What does it mean? What does it matter?
Or you do it on TV and fix it the pay-per-view.
Right. Like, Chad, like, Piper Niven could have beat Bayley, and then on SmackDown, they flip it back to get Bayley ready for Nia. Because nobody wants Piper Niven versus Nia Jax. No matter how great any of them are, nobody wants that. 0. And then the same thing with Chad. Chad could have beat Sammy in Scotland, and we get to Raw literally the next night, or 2 nights from now, or 2 nights from then, rematch, or even wait a week.
Yeah.
Chad holds the title for a week. Sammy wants his rematch clause. And then Adam Pearce makes it official, right?
And now you got a main event.
You have a main event for Raw. You have a main event that you can book ahead for a week, and people will want to see it. Why will they want to see it? Because Sammy and Chad are 2 of the best good match dudes.
And there's actual, like, things
History.
happening.
Yes.
And progression.
Yes.
This was a show, and we'll continue to get onto it, but, like, my main takeaway, you asked earlier, aside from, like, just the matches, it's like, it was a night where the least interesting outcome happened.
Very chalk.
And it was it's chalk. It's chalk. It was stock, you could say.
Stock. Very stock.
And some of those I thought were the right decision. Like, I love Bayley and her title reign, but, like, maybe this is a night where Piper wins and you fix it on TV in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know,
especially
like,
with Chelsea Green. You can use Chelsea Green and 2-on-1 advantage, and then Bayley gets a 1-on-1. Chelsea Green's barred from ringside.
They just had, like, so many long title reigns over the last, like, 2 years. Whether it's Roman, whether it's Rhea, whether it's Gunther, whether it's the Usos, They just had so many long reigns. Like, a long reign for anybody right now isn't going to benefit them unless you're getting close to that territory, which now we're talking like October 2025 is the longest that somebody would have to hold a title to start like turning some heads.
Right. How?
So
Do you know who the
why
longest
not
reign,
like
do you know who the longest reigning champion in WWE is right now?
I don't think I know off the top of my head.
It's Logan Paul.
Okay.
But that title never gets defended. It's only defended on like every other premium live event. But it's on a star. Like it's on somebody who matters, right? Or not matters, but like matters in the big picture of WWE.
Yeah. I guess my point is like with the champions you have now, I don't think there's a single champion who is going to benefit from a 9, 10, 12, 14-month title reign right now.
Including Cody.
Just simply not. Including Cody. Priest is probably as high as he's going to get until you get the title off of him and continue to develop him. Bayley is she's Mr. Hitman right now. She's the emblem of consistency.
Right.
She's going to be fine no matter what you do. Cody, red hot to the WWE crowd. You could take the title off of him and have him get it back on TV or the next pay-per-view. The people are going to be right there. There's a night where Piper Niven should have won. They did it with the women's tag titles.
Right.
I wish that Alba Fire and other homegirl were over on WWE TV.
Right. They were over at home.
Sure.
But in order to be over on television, one must be on television.
Correct.
And they like ready made these two to be in this match with little to no fanfare. Like there was a backstage thing saying, "Oh, well, we're going to be in Scotland. Put us in the match." And it's like, okay, sure. Like, I don't know. So we've talked about like pretty much those three matches. Do you want to talk about Bianca and Jade at all?
Nah, not interesting.
Yeah. So let's talk about the sandwiched main events. The opener and the headliner, right? Cody and AJ Styles, following a Dave Meltzer 5-star classic, gave us the most uninteresting finish to an I Quit match I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. I know that AJ Styles has tried to grow himself as a performer in WWE, and leading up to him leaving TNA, he tried to develop that sports entertainment
wrestling.
Cross the line. Try to develop that area of his game, and not to say that he can't do it, but you shouldn't ask him to do it when not necessary. I feel like he does well in the pre-tapes, like going back to like the Shane McMahon feud. That was a lot of pre-tape stuff backstage. That came off well.
The stuff leading into the Boneyard match with the Undertaker. That
came off well. But I think when you ask him to do it live, it's like, like maybe Cody should have had him. Maybe this is a time where Cody gets a submission finish, and now it's part of his game. Whether it's the figure 4 or whatever else it is. Maybe this is the time that you add something to Cody's belt. And shoot, Cody's got a submission now, much like Cena had the STFU.
Like Roman had the front chancery.
Right.
Like Brock had the Kimura. Like AJ's got the calf killer.
Right. Mr. Undertaker with Hell's Gate.
Yeah.
Like this could have been a time to add something.
Sheamus even had the Texas Cloverleaf.
Right, yeah. like this could have been a time to like add something to Cody. And I think if you would have locked AJ up in a move, that would have been a better finish, because now like, shoot, this move has actually finished a big match. And it's something that like people got a game plan for when facing Cody, even if he doesn't bust it out all the time. We now know that like it's won a big time match.
And Cody's
like,
done the figure four before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't do anything for me as like a Cody stan.
It was too long.
It was too long, and I just didn't. I did not care for the handcuff gimmick, and then like he's handcuffed to the top rope, and Cody's got the steel stairs, and AJ's afraid for his life. Nah, ain't for me, Chief.
Yeah.
This ain't it. This ain't it. On the other side of the coin, unless you have more, do you have more about AJ and Cody?
I just felt like it was too long. I think they did fine. Like I wouldn't give this a fail. I wouldn't give it a pass either necessarily. I just thought it was there. Good effort. Good job. Good effort. But just too long. And like from the start of the show until the segment came to a close, it was almost 45 minutes exactly.
27:45 bell to bell, according to Wikipedia.
Right. And you got entrances, and then you got all the post-match stuff.
Yep.
So I remember I timestamped it. It was almost like 45 minutes on the dot.
Right.
Sounds of Freedom.
Sounds of Freedom.
So I understand what they were trying to do from a time aspect of like have this thing eat up most of the hour. By the time the next match began, 8 minutes had gone by.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand it. I get it. But could this now gone, maybe we end this at like 32 minutes into the show, 35 minutes into the show. Just that extra 10 minutes, I felt it overstayed its welcome a little bit for me.
Yeah.
But it looks like maybe we got some fun 6-man tag stuff, which is still something that WWE does really well. So I am looking forward to that.
What, Cody, with the
like Cody, Orton, and
KO.
Steen versus Bloodline.
Yeah. But what they're called, what they're actually saying on TV as the bootleg Bloodline.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
That is the phrase they're using during like pre-show and post-show conversations.
Oh gosh.
They're the bootleg Bloodline.
Oh no.
When really, if we're talking about the Bloodline, I actually think this Bloodline is more effective.
Correct.
In the simple fact that this Bloodline is all killers.
Yeah, so like they did a really good job of that.
They're being presented as killers.
Right.
Whereas before it was Roman who developed into a killer and the Usos who were just still the Usos.
But they needed to be provoked.
Yes.
And they needed to decide on their terms if they were going to respond to being provoked or not. They wouldn't just do things to do them. Like this group will just like jump you because they feel like it.
They're likes to fight guys. All of them.
Yeah.
They follow the lead of Solo Sikoa. That's perfectly fine by me. But we get to the main event. It's time for Damian Priest to retire that lucha spot.
I'd never liked that dive just because of
his size.
The risk versus the reward.
Yeah.
Is drastic. And thankfully he didn't end up with his leg sticking out of the other end of his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Because that can happen. But yeah, scary spot. I don't like anybody doing that dive, but yeah.
It's a little different for me when it's like a little luchador, because it's weird, but like to me at least, when they bounce off the ropes, they don't bounce as hard. Like there's not It's like a bird sitting on on a wire. Like they're agile enough that they're able to like balance it perfectly and dismount perfectly because they're lightweight, right? So they're able to get in and get out. Whereas Damien, it's like, all right, step, stomp, and then launch.
Yeah. It's also the difference between like rope versus cable.
True. Yeah. With all of that being said, though, I thought this match rocked.
I did too, and I think I've got some topics of discussion, maybe somewhat of a hot take here.
Sure.
I think in the WWE hierarchy right now of strictly performers, and like if we were doing like Sports Center's Who's Now for WWE,
Who's now? Do it now.
oh yeah, I think you've got Roman Reigns on a god tier.
Uh-huh.
And I think beneath that, you have two spots. One is vacant right now. It would go to Brock Lesnar if he were to come back to the company.
Uh-huh.
And it's Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is in such a lane, in such a groove right now. I don't think that he's like his realm is being touched by anybody on the active roster right now, including Cody. McIntyre is in a world of his own right now on the active roster.
My only problem with Drew right now is the fact that all of his coolest stuff is on Twitter. Like the cool stuff he does is to Twitter. And it's to me, he hasn't found a way to make it to carry it over onto the TV product. It feels very disconnected and disjointed. If the dude on Twitter was the dude that was wrestling, I would love it. But instead, it's not. And Drew on TV feels very much like the same Drew McIntyre that we had during like the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the person who is like bitter and snarky and coming for everybody. Because it's a combination we don't get very often, right? The big bruising dude who could legitimately push your S in at any moment, but who's also very snarky about it and very quick-witted.
Mm-hmm.
So he can beat you on the mic and he can beat you in the ring at a moment's notice. And it's almost too much, right? It's too much power. How, like, no one man should have all that power. But Drew does. It's just unfortunate that, to me at least, it doesn't carry. Like, his TV persona does not carry over to Twitter and vice versa. It's a tale of two Drews.
From what I see, I don't see an equal for him to go bar for bar with on TV.
It's Phil. If there's anyone, it's Phil.
It should be Mr. Phil. However, Mr. Phil still has to figure out what and who is CM Punk in 2024 WWE. Drew McIntyre has figured out who he is and what he is and how to get a response from that crowd.
Right.
CM Punk needs to, and I believe he will, Sounds of Freedom. I believe he will, but
because he hasn't been around.
I don't think we're there yet. He hasn't been around.
Like it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that like right as we're about ready to hit blast off on the CM Punk 2024 WWE run, he blows his tricep out again.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we're behind the 8 ball again. And we're now what, coming up on 5 months of no Punk as a regular contributor. And like, yeah, it's cool that like they're exchanging jabs and like Punk does like the pre-shows and Punk does like all these media appearances, and he's still saying like he's eating donuts at the post-show. Not a press conference anymore. It's a Clash of the Castle post-show. Same thing. But Phil's eating donuts. Phil's eating
Did you
donuts.
see that one person who was like, "Oh, he looks so healthy now compared to the AEW picture of eating muffins"? I'm like, well, yeah, he didn't just like blow out his tricep, have like a 40-minute match, juiced.
Right. Like he ran down to the ring in like a Climacool long sleeve shirt and a referee shirt over top of it. He gave him the European middle finger and then kicked Drew in the dick and left. Like, there's nothing else to discuss in a difference. I really can't wait for Punk to come back. Not just because I'm a friend of Phil, an actual friend of Phil, and not like other people. Like, I'm ready for Phil to come back and start succeeding again in the WWE landscape. But it's going to be interesting, especially if they let them like actually go to jabs, right? If you let them cut promos against each other, and you let CM Punk try to figure out who he is, and not settle into an older version of himself. Because I don't want the same song and dance from Phil. Like,
well, and that's what it is. Mr. Phil has to figure out what is the song and dance now, because it's very much a song and dance audience in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that for CM Punk?
Right. I will say this in regards to a take you had, or you've had for the longest time, and you've expressed it here on the show. There was conversation in the Discord that like, oh man, I'm really surprised that the fans there didn't mark out harder for Punk being the referee until the camera actually cuts to Punk in the ring doing the thing.
Yep.
And it goes hand in hand with you saying fans don't know who comes out. They need the music and they need the person's name on a big screen.
Yep.
Like, and I get that Punk hit himself. He wore a long sleeve shirt to cover the tattoos. That's brilliant for him. I love that for him. Okay. But, and the way they shot it was masterful. Like, I loved it. They almost gave me the appearance that possibly it was an actual referee. But, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to see what's going on. I hope that, from what I've seen, what I've seen so far, just from like the post show, is that yes, Damian Priest is hurt, but he dodged a bullet, and it's not severe.
Yeah, he's probably got a good sprain,
like a good hyperextension Jones. There's enough time for him to rest before he gets fed to Gunther.
So that was another thing I wanted to prognosticate a little bit. Bash at Berlin, is that September, October?
Let me look. I think it's right after SummerSlam.
Okay. I mean, that's got to be McIntyre and Big Gunther for the world title. And I think if you finally, and that was another point I wanted to make, if you finally want to make the Raw title, not the Roman consolation belt, not just the Raw title, you got to get this bad boy to McIntyre, because he's the only guy I can think of right now who's going to actually take that title and believably have it presented as another world title.
So the way it breaks down is we have Money in the Bank July 6th, NXT Heatwave July 7, SummerSlam August 3, and then Bash at Berlin August 31.
Okay.
So Gunther and Damian Priest is at SummerSlam.
Right.
Gunther wins the title at SummerSlam.
Gotta be.
And then you go to Clash of the Castle Bash at Berlin with Gunther as the World Heavyweight Champion. What I don't want is the winner of Money in the Bank to cash in on Gunther at Bash in Berlin.
Right.
Looking at you, Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm. I want to see Jey Uso win Money in the Bank.
I do, kinda.
I do not want to see or hear Yeet in the Bank.
Money in the Yeet.
Money in the Oos. I don't want to hear it.
Oos in the Bank.
I don't know who all is in Money in the Bank. I don't know if it's been announced or whatever.
There's probably going to be qualifiers.
Okay. Safe to assume that Jey Uso is going to be in there.
He's already declared.
Okay.
So to speak.
Are they doing Raw and SmackDown Money in the Bank? Have they said, is it cross-branded? Do we know anything?
I'm assuming it's too cross-branded.
Well, they probably have the men. They have the men's and women's, and both are probably going to be cross-branded.
And they'll be cross-branded.
Okay.
I would assume because to do four Money in the Banks would be insane.
I tell you, a heel needs to win it, and they need to go to SmackDown and beat Cody.
Then why not beat Solo?
SmackDown is so deprived of heels at the top right now.
Just put Solo on it.
Not time yet for the quote-unquote bootleg bloodline. You got McIntyre and you've got Judgment Day. You got all the heels over at Raw. It's so heel heavy. Gunther and Chad Gable, on and on and on. Like SmackDown, there's a reason why they had to do the retirement angle with AJ Styles. It's because they had no other heels left.
Mm-hmm.
It was either like turn somebody like Owens or Orton, or do another angle to heat up Styles again.
Mm-hmm.
They were out of options. Or like do an angle to heat up like Santos Escobar.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty thin on SmackDown with heels.
What if it's Chad Gable? What if Gable gets Money in the Bank and then goes to SmackDown and beats Cody?
Sure, fine.
You're not
probably not going to happen because he'd have to win. I don't believe that he would ever win anything. So
with Money in the Bank, though, it's almost a guarantee.
I don't believe that he would win Money in the Bank.
Okay.
Like, I can't see him winning. I can hardly see him winning a qualifier.
Right.
Anything else from the show? Did you have a big takeaway or anything to write home about?
No, because these international premium live events aren't usually anything to really write home about. They're good matches. And I think there's a reason why they've started using this phrase premium live event. Because it's a bigger house show.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it feels like. The matches are fun. They're cool. But and I think Saudi Arabia is catching on, right? Which is why Saudi went and was like, yo, we want a Rumble. We want a WrestleMania.
Yeah. Something with some stakes.
Yeah. Because instead, you're coming over here during Halloween and you're giving me Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins on Halloween. And that was cool. But that's really if you go back and look at the history of all of the Saudi Arabia shows, the only thing really of note from any of those Saudi shows is Bray Wyatt winning the WWE title as the Fiend.
The Universal title at that.
That's right. And Didn't Goldberg beat Bray Wyatt in Saudi?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that happened.
Right. And Goldberg almost killed The Undertaker.
That also happened. And I think it really started with the first, I think it was Crown Jewel, which would have been last October or September. And that was where they did like the King and Queen of the Ring.
So they actually, yeah, King and Queen of the Ring. Let me
where like
look.
Woods won it.
And,
Woods won it.
Zelina
won it. I think there was also a Brock and Roman match on that show.
I'm taking a look right now. Okay, so Crown Jewel 2023 was not it. I'm hoping that they have like a Saudi Arabia show. Okay, so there was an actual King and Queen of the Ring, and that was 2024. Sorry. Crown Jewel 23, no. Night of Champions.
That sounds right.
Night of Champions did not have the crowning of the King of the Ring. So let's go to the next one. Crown Jewel 22 was Roman Logan Paul, but still no King and Queen.
October 21.
Okay, so not Elimination Chamber, Crown Jewel 2021.
Yeah.
So that was Roman versus Brock, Woods, Balor, Vega, Doudrop, Big E, Drew McIntyre, Edge and Seth, Hell in a Cell, in an actually really good Hell in a Cell. Give credit where credit's due, but and that Goldberg Bobby Lashley no holds barred falls count anywhere match, pretty fun. Yeah. That was pretty fun. That was the last we've seen of Goldberg in the WWE. So,
good riddance.
Good riddance to old rubbish. You idiot. Yeah.
Imbecile.
Oh, you're just so full of ish. Yeah. I have nothing else really about this Clash at the Castle. I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank next because it's going to feel like a big deal in Toronto. But yeah, man, that's kind of where my where I stand for everything. Oh. Did you have like a match of the night? Was it Drew and Damian, or was it Sammy and Gable?
I thought it was Drew and Damian just based off the star power and as Twitter would say, aura of Drew McIntyre right now. Like that was his show. It was his ring, his building, his people.
Right.
And his match. And I really thought, again, it was like a creatively lazy misstep to have Punk go out there and cost him the title, as opposed to have the Judgment Day, find a way around the banishment, and have Phil run off the Judgment Day and basically hand the title to McIntyre.
Right.
Excuse me. I had a long soda burp there.
No, you're good, man.
So that McIntyre can't even fully enjoy. Like, he thinks he won it and did it by himself, and then you see Punk there with the laid out Judgment Day, and like now it's Phil that gave him the title pretty much, and you can get to Phil and McIntyre on at SummerSlam for the title, or again, like, you can have Priest beat McIntyre on TV and have Punk like cost him the title there. Like, look, I won you the title, I cost you the title. I don't know, but like something interesting would have been cool.
Right. For sure. So that covers all of that. So Marcus, it is your favorite part of the show.
Oh, baby.
Lock in.
And now, Tim Taylor presents The Undertaking.
So getting completely out of the way first. This is a fantastic episode of 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway. I'm not being facetious.
All right.
He's got Maven on.
Oh, okay. Maven ain't gonna let nothing be bad.
No. And they talk in grand detail about the Royal Rumble match with Maven eliminating him. Mm-hmm. And all the talking up before, like, going into the match, going into the elimination, talking about the brawl afterwards. The most insightful the Undertaker has been, to my knowledge, on these podcasts. They really like ask Maven's D at the beginning because they like love his content, which his content is good.
Yes, it is.
And so, but that's not. So this episode of this portion of the Undertaking has nothing to do with any of the actual content. Marcus, there is a gem that takes place during this episode, and I'm going to play it for you. But we have a new Blue Chew ad from Mark from Texas. And this is the key phrase that I want to bleach out of my brain.
Would you say it's the phrase that pays?
This would be the phrase that pays. I had to listen to one of my holy trinity of favorite wrestlers say this phrase on a podcast about Blue Chew. Are you ready? Here we go.
It's like steroids for your wiener. But legal.
I'm done. I want that to set in one more time.
It's like steroids for your wiener. But legal.
And I feel like there's only one thing I can do to even come out of that. And that's to play this.
It's like steroids for your wiener. But legal.
Go ahead.
Speaking of steroids, I found out just a couple hours too late that the greatest bodybuilder of all time, Ronnie Coleman, was 3 minutes away from my house doing a meet and greet. And I didn't find out until it was too late. So and I'm so mad.
And if you were going to ask him a question, what would you ask him?
Will my heart explode? Yours hasn't. Right. What was your secret? Black man to black man, what was your secret from keeping your heart exploding? Right. Where can I get some good test, brother?
Because I feel like if it is the logical next step, right? Mm-hmm. You gotta like fully eat clean.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta go the whole thing. Yeah.
No more bad food.
No more sody pop. I'm in. Yeah.
Committed. Or you can do zero sugar.
No, gotta make it count. Nothing but chicken, rice, water,
sweet potatoes,
chicken, rice, water.
You're just gonna
and steroids. That's it.
Man.
Start walking around with them little rice cakes.
Oh man, don't be that guy.
Become a peanut butter guy.
Oh, I'm fine with that. Now are you gonna be a peanut butter on the rice cake guy?
Yeah,
you gotta combine. Gotta combine them up.
Gotta commit. Anything else notable from The Undertaking?
It's like steroids for your wiener. but legal.
That's all. That's literally it. The episode
So much
is
like
great.
much like we found out during, I guess it was that Undertaker 6-part episode documentary where he
The
kept trying to
Last
have a good
Ride.
match and couldn't have one. Thank you.
Yeah.
We found out that he was a Trump t-shirt guy, which we
Yeah.
knew he was a Trump guy, but finding out that he was a Trump t-shirt guy was just like exponentially funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Finding out that the Undertaker is a wiener guy, also
Right.
super funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of weird that he's talking about steroids for your wiener. He does say it multiple times during the read. That
He's
was
a wiener
just-
guy.
That was just the best take of it.
Okay.
They do talk about they do an impersonation of Hulk Hogan, brother, about it.
Okay.
They talk about the flag being at full mast.
Okay.
And you can get yours. You can get your free trial of Blue Chew by using the promo code 6feet at checkout on bluechew.com. Just in case you need to rib somebody. But yeah, the podcast though with Maven was really cool.
Okay.
Undertaker, they tell a story about when Maven got hit with the awesome chair shot to the throat,
Yeah. Yeah.
the throat jammy one.
Mhm.
And after it all goes down, Kurt Henning's backstage, which I don't know if the timeline's right for that.
It is. Yeah.
Okay. Kurt Henning's backstage and goes, "Hey man, you need to like get a neck brace or something. Like, to protect everything, right?" And Maven immediately went to Undertaker and go, Mr. Perfect said that I should probably get a neck brace. I wanted to run it by you first. Make sure, like, whatever you wanted or needed. And Undertaker just smiled and laughed and was like, "Nah, kid, you're all right." But his exact phrase was, "I don't like getting ribbed. I don't want to be ribbed. I don't rib." So just like, nope, not going to play around. I'm going to tell you to you straight. I don't like getting ribbed, so I'm not going to rib you.
He should have had a neck brace though.
He should have absolutely had a neck brace. That would have been super awesome.
I'm still the old school mindset that like a chair to anything other than like your body or the top of your dome
Mm-hmm.
is a right off angle. And like you need to be off TV for multiple weeks, neck brace, cast, whatever.
Air cast,
But like,
sling.
yeah, sling, not to be seen for a couple more months. Like you're toast.
Laid up on a couch with a handgun.
Yup.
All the classics,
A
right?
bountiful bosom. Yeah.
Respectfully. Oh yeah, but yeah, the Undertaking for me was literally just the Undertaker comparing Blue Chew to
It's like steroids for your wiener, but legal.
yeah. Literally, that's it. That's all I had.
All right.
That's all
Well,
I
I'm
had.
glad he took our advice. I'm glad he stepped his game up.
Yeah, I don't know who he's got tomorrow. Now, here's the crazy part: is that like I get a whole like 6-day window from the time our podcast drops to the time the next one drops. So I'll know who we're covering next week when this drops,
Okay.
because their shows also come out on Monday. So if you're ever like trying to combat between who to listen to first, Final Wrestling Place or 6 Feet Under, listen to us, because we're just going to cover it in 6 days. And we're going to save you a bunch of time unless you want to hear The Undertaker do a live ad read for Blue Chew. Which I don't. I might just turn our Twitter page into just like a timestamp reader for whenever The Undertaker does his Blue Chew reads in 6 Feet Under. Like, all I'm gonna say is this week's episode, timestamp this, switch to it, and go. But yeah, man. Other than that, an insightful but non-memorable episode with Maven. It is really good. It is really good. More wrestling guests, please. Less heroes. I'm sorry. I know I sound like a butthole when I say that, but I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You're a wrestler, Mark. You're not a soldier. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care
it's
how
the only
much
time he
money.
gets to feel like a soldier.
I don't care how much money you donate. I don't care how many guns you own. I don't care how many sets of dog tags people have given you. You are not a soldier. You are not a police officer. You are not a you are a pseudo dead person. You want to know what I want to hear about? I want you to talk to me about how cold the human body gets when it gets put into a casket. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. I want to know more about like working Kamala. Talk to me about that.
I want to
talk to me about like how you did the trick where like you look like Kane and then you took your mask off and it was you. By God.
Yeah.
I want to know more about like that stuff.
You know what I want to be told about is I want to know the logistics of the flashlight in the big super urn with Paul Bearer.
Yes. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Undertaker.
Or let's talk about the time y'all put a smoke bomb in the urn and when the jank opened, just green smoke poured out.
Whole episode on Royal Rumble 1994.
Yes.
Everything. Like, I want to know everything. It's been 30 years. Take me through every step.
I want you to debunk that is not Marty Jannetty.
Right.
You need to debunk. Like, I want you to tell me how y'all cut that promo in the casket because you're not actually in a casket. Like, I need to know it all. Oh, they do talk about Coco Beware and Undertaker drilling him with a tombstone.
Sweet. Okay.
Apparently, Coco Beware lit into the Undertaker for like 10 minutes.
He could have killed him. He could have killed him.
Hearing the Undertaker like talk about it, he was very apologetic, but it's like it's almost like a nervous laughter of just like, hey man, I tried to protect him as much as I can, and like the camera angle you guys get is of my back, which is like the worst angle. But like, I didn't try to hurt him. I wasn't trying to hurt him, and like Coco just
know what he was doing
into him.
As you should have. When I said he could have killed him, I'm also talking about Coco Beware could have killed Mark from Texas.
Oh, for sure. But Mark absolutely says like he's like I apologize so much, and Coco just kept going into him, and it almost got to the point of Undertaker saying, "Hey, do we need to step out in the parking lot and handle something? Because like I don't know how much more I can apologize to you to your face about this."
And that would have been the last
of Mark from Texas. Yeah. Show you what a real PYT is all about. Pretty Young Taker is what's gonna be. It's dead, smoked out. So as we sort of wrap up, one of the hot topic items that came across the soon to be named network is a misunderstanding about a list that was created to guide the masses into the greatness of Randy Orton.
Absolutely.
To be fair, maybe No Mercy 07, not the best choice, because while I do appreciate Randy Orton's work, I also forgot that a lot of people hate Triple H. And I feel like the people who hate Triple H are also the same people who hate Randy Orton.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of universal overlap for not liking Triple H matches. I think the thing I really like about those No Mercy matches, and maybe I have a different set of eyeballs, those two matches are worked for the majority on the fly, and I can see that, and I really appreciate that. Like they went out there and did that on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So like I like that, but I can see why other people would not like that. That's also probably during like Triple H's best run.
Right.
Not to say that it's great, but it is to say that it is his best.
Right.
If you look, not including the 2000 run, but yeah, that is his probably individual best run.
Right.
During that time period.
But when No Mercy was provided, the list of the Randy Orton matches was not complete.
Correct. Yeah, that was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, there was a misunderstanding, some a misfunction at the junction, if you will. The full list wasn't there yet. So I'm going to ask you, have you put the kibosh on the last 8 years of Randy Orton?
I sure have. I have completed the list through 2016, 17, all the way up through 2024. And still counting. He's on TV a lot.
Unfortunately, though, we're not talking about TV. Kenny specifically wants pay-per-view.
Oh, he wants pay-per-view. Okay. Well, originally he had said TV and pay-per-view, so that's why I did the TV and pay-per-view list.
I thought he said pay-per-view only.
Okay. Well, I've got a lot of TV. I got a lot of pay-per-view as well. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is Randy Orton's most recent one-on-one pay-per-view match that you would say is a great Randy Orton match?
The match versus Gunther.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
Now,
yeah, I would give it 4. Before that one, one-on-one. Let me look through the list here. So that's a triple threat. That's Elimination Chamber. A lot of that's multi-person stuff. He has a SmackDown match with Zayn that I have is very good from February. Last one-on-one. A lot of his 22 is tag work with Riddle.
Riddle, yep.
Yeah. He has a short 21 due to injury. Last one-on-one, great. It's got to be pandemic stuff, the stuff with McIntyre. Yeah. I have the SummerSlam match.
The Hell in a Cell
as great.
Match.
And the Hell in a Cell as well. Mm-hmm. Both is great. I got the Clash of Champions ambulance match is very good. And then the Raw title change is very good as well.
The ambulance matches with Drew?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's stuff out there if you want to keep your list up and going, let us know. If you want to see it, we can get it all put together. And package it up for you. It's there. It's complete. It's growing because Randy Orton's not going to stop having good matches. He never stopped. He's never stopped, never stopping, if you will. So, good on that. Before we wrap things up, did you buy anything this week?
I think my last update, I think I said I bought passes to the amusement park that's here locally.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I haven't made any other big purchases since then. But yeah, opportunity business has been doing well. I'm getting itchy to buy a fig because it's been a while since I've had one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Outsider 2-pack Ultimate Edition is calling my name.
Because then that means these puppies get open.
And I also really like a lot of the From the Vault Elite stuff that's coming out. And I swore off Elites because the Ultimate Editions were starting to get out of hand. But some of these Elites that are getting re-released, I'm like, shoot. Mm-hmm. A lot of them were on my wish list. So I might have to pick and choose a couple Elites here and there, just because I really want them. But that's it for me. Anything for you?
Nothing for me. Very light week so far. I think I'm gonna end up buying some of these display stands because I've just got an influx now of Lucy's that I'm standing like right now. You can't see it now, but right here in front of my AEW Supreme CM Punk, I've got the Ultimate Monday Night War Bret Hart, and
which I need to go get that. Yeah.
And then my Roman Reigns fig, the original Ultimate, not the new one. But I think I'm gonna go through this Ringside Collectibles spring 4th of July sale, and kind of pick and choose. Like I may finally get my FTR figs.
Mm-hmm.
I can get both of them for $14 combined. So I might do that. I might get a Jungle Boy, just throw him through some real glass. You can get an Ultimate Series 12 Spooky Alexa Bliss for $10.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, you don't want Spooky Alexa Bliss?
All set here.
But I also do want to go through these of like the damaged packaging toys, especially for like Lucy's. Like seeing who's available that I would want to display as a Lucy. And just like ripping the package open and going for it from that. So, the Ringside Collectibles Defining Moments Hitman.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap right now.
It's $15.
Yeah.
Sheesh. The Gobbledygooker's $15. Sheesh.
Yeah, I wish I didn't get those when they came out.
Yeah,
you're sucker's remorse.
Yeah, man. Sucker's remorse indeed. The Shawn Michaels cowboy or the Texas outfit. The Royal Rumble 98 gear or Royal Rumble 97 gear. That's pretty sweet. That's under $20 right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Faces of Foley. They're all
under that's
20.
Another one that
they're all under 20.
Yep.
Dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
I'm glad I'm not a Foley guy because he has like so many figs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad on like picking and choosing which ones.
Luminaries CM Punk. The ROH fig.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the sale. And that's $21. Can't beat that, I don't think. But yeah, man, there's some good stuff here. I may have to flip through and look at the damaged packaging stuff and see what's here. Oh, the Defining Moments Mick Foley with the Hell in a Cell is $24. The Hook exclusive is $27 right now. I do want to get the Uso Ultimates to display with Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the gray Undertaker they're selling by itself for $30.
Yeah, I wish I would have just gotten that. I didn't know that they were going to split it up. Yeah, but I got it because I wanted Gray Glove Taker with the black alternates. I'm currently looking at my golden goose of a figure, the Bret Hart ringside exclusive King of the Ring figure.
Oh yeah.
I just need to eventually pull the trigger and get it.
How much is it right now?
eBay, there's a listing for around 120. I'm seeing on Macari that there's one for like 88. I haven't bought anything off of that site. So if any of our Fig friends can kind of point me in the right direction to go, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to treat myself.
There's a King of the Ring I'm seeing that's 85 on Edward Bay.
Okay. Yeah, I just need to do it. I just need to get it.
Yeah, unsigned. Yeah, man, this is looking very up for you.
Yeah. There's a little bit of like Joker finding out who Batman is element to it. Or like once I get this figure, then like is that going to be it for me? Like
No, it'll never be it for you.
Thank you. That's what I needed.
Because you want to know what's going to end up happening? The minute you buy this Bret Hart, you're going to get blue teasted, buddy, and they're going to re-release it.
Yeah, that's another fear of mine. Yep.
Yeah. It's exactly what's going to happen. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Am I right?
Sure will. Sure will.
Do you have anything you need to plug?
Nothing to plug for me.
Perfect. Soon to be named network.tumblr.com. We are proud to be on the soon to be named network at STBN Network on Twitter. At your spot to catch everything, including but not limited to our wrestling offerings of At Odds of Wrestling with Joe and Adam, and We Need Wrestling with DJ and Brett. Whenever any show goes live, shout out, indeed. New home for Final Wrestling Place. FinalWrestlingPlace.podbean.com. It's our final move. Because just the making the YouTube videos is getting a little too much for me. So I want to take a step out of it for me. But we're making a move. If you listen to this on a different podcatcher and it's not updating, please let us know. We'll look to rectify that as soon as possible. I know over the weekend when I made the jump that Spotify was down for a little bit, but now it's back. Thank goodness. So if there's a way you listen to this and it's not there, let me know. If you need the updated RSS feed, Joe, let me know. I'm actually already going to send it to you as soon as I put this up. But everything else should be good. The Twitter stays the same at TNM Shows. If you want to follow us on social media, you can. At Not the Tool Man for me, at the Wrestling Speakeasy for Marcus. If you know, you know. It is Up to Something season. That's all you're going to know. We will be back here next week for more fun, more games, more excitement, maybe a field trip. Who knows? But right now, Marcus, all that's left is to tell the people goodbye.
Bye, boys.